A warm welcome to one and all assembled here. This is a short tutorial on a SharePoint development topic on user permissions. And it is a common requirement to assign permissions to either folders or a SharePoint list or a document library. So in my career, it has been a common requirement to break the permission of a list and assign custom permissions. But please note that as a good practice, try not to do that, because if the list size exceeds, then there is a big performance issue. So how do we actually break the permission or assign unique permissions? Technically using the break role inheritance or from the UI. So this is a simple document library created called permission demo. And you just can to assign permissions to a folder. We can just select share and see the users who have been shared with. Select shared with and click advanced. Over here we can see whether the list has been assigned unique permissions or inheriting permissions. By default it is usually inheriting permissions, and when we actually do assignment with unique permissions, we have to break the role inheritance and then give the group we want. We have to give the group name or the username. It can be a group name like the owners or members of viewers group or a particular user, and the permission level we need to assign. It can be either approve, design or edit or full control or read or contribute. Most of the times you want to allow users to add or edit items to a list, so we can either use edit or contribute most of the times for the custom requirements. But as a warning, please note that it is good not to actually use break role inheritance unnecessarily. It is better to either create two separate list or document libraries with the separate unique groups, or simply create a unique view whereby users can view their item, or try to use audience targeting. So now let's get started off with, there are three approaches. So for now, overall the steps are: first get the folder or the document library or the list. Okay. And next you need to break the role inheritance using the break role inheritance method. Then we need to assign that item, either the list or the folder or the document library, to the appropriate permission level. So it can be a particular user or a group, and then we have to assign that user permission level, either manage list or edit or contribute list, to that particular group using the role definitions and the role assignment. And we are going to see three scenarios. I'm sorry, it was not approaches. We are going to see three scenarios. We are going to have a look at the server-side object model, the client-side object model in the on-premise, and also client-side object model on a online environment. Also, please note that PowerShell can also be happily used. For today, we'll focus on using Visual Studio. So fine, I was just writing the code. So I came across a site which said that we can actually get the folder using get folder itself. So I was testing that. So overall, first you get the site object, then the web object, and then we get the folder. In server-side object model, we can use get folder, or we get the list and then read the folder. So if you want to view all the groups in your site, you can use this particular line of code to view all the groups. For now, I'm just trying to assign the group contours of members. So I use the groups web.groups and then get the group name with the corresponding name. And then look at this. Next is the role assignment class, through which we assign the group with the appropriate role. So first step, I'm breaking the role inheritance using folder.item.break role inheritance. It can also be a list item or a document library file. And I pass the parameter true to allow the inheritance to be unique. That is a unique inheritance. So unique permission. And then the role mapping, we are mapping the group contours of members with contribute permissions, and we assign that to the folder item by using the method role assignments.add with the role assignment class. So this is a short step for example for server-side object model. So let's quickly run this code. We have so I have done this code for a particular folder called folder 1. So I will go to this folder and delete the unique permissions first, and then we'll run the code and check what is happening to this particular folder. So let's just run this code, server-side object model. I'll just run I'll remove all the breakpoints and then run the code. And the message broken inheritance is displayed. So let's go to the site and see what has happened. I have refreshed the page and a unique permission is assigned and console members assigned with permission of contribute. So let's stop this. Then let's move on to the CSOM. So in CSOM, it's a similar code. Let's open the CSOM application. I'll be referencing Microsoft.SharePoint.ClientDLL. You can execute this from any server without SharePoint also, or machine without SharePoint also. So over here, look at this code. Instead of we get the client or context, then the web object, the list object, I read the title, the documents folder. Then I add the folder called folder1. Then I call the execute query. Next, I call the break role inheritance. And then I add the user garthif with contribute rights to the folder1 using the role definition class. Okay, so I call the web.role definitions and then add the new folder role assignments.add with the appropriate user and the role. And finally, I call the update method and call the execute query to complete the execution. So let's just run this also. Before that, I will just change the folder name to something else called folder demo and execute the class. So I go to the documents folder. The new folder document folder has been created. I view the permissions using the advanced tab of the shared with pop-up appearing. And over here, I view that a unique permission has been assigned for the user garthif with the contribute right. The user already has full control, so that is being used. The user has contribute rights for this folder. Now let's go ahead with the online version. In the online version, I need to get the username and password. So I get the username and the password using the console.readline and writeline. I call a separate method to get the password. And then look at this code. So a similar code has been used on a list called permission demo, and I'm creating a folder called folder demo. And similarly, I'm assigning the user from the user input, the corresponding username with the appropriate role of contributor rights. You can change that to any right as per your business needs. So pretty much the same code. Let's just run this and test this. So the username, let's try some. So once the action is completed, I get the message, action completed, security has been changed. Let's close this and refresh the page. A new folder, folder demo has been created. Look at this, it has been modified by test A. I will just look at the share option. Look at who it has been shared with. Look at the advanced tab. And over here now it has been assigned a unique permission for the user test A. So as a quick summary, we tried to assign unique permissions to a user or a group to any object in SharePoint. It can also be applied to the site also. Okay, so even to a website, you can do the same thing where you can assign, manage or design permissions to a specific user. So we get the object. Today we saw for folder, or you can do for list or document library or site. And in server-side object model, we can use the web.getFolder method. In CSOM, we get the list and the folder with the normal CSOM code, web.list and with the corresponding list name. And the next important thing is the break role inheritance. And then finally, we use the role assignment method to map the user or group to the appropriate permission level, and then attach that to the object using the list item dot role assignments dot add or folder dot role assignments dot add. So thank you so much for watching, all of you. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.